Good morning. I'm in my office. Wow. Thought I'd have a change of scenery. And I'm using my camera that I haven't used in forever. My son wasn't using it for a while, and then he wasn't helping me as far as his camera is concerned, but I'm going to give it a whirl today myself. So, thank you for joining me. I like this different environment. Why not? So, it is Wednesday. Also, I have my editing software now on my computer, so I can edit these videos. So welcome to the show. Glad you could join me. And we're going to go into 1 Corinthians chapter 15 today. This is such a spectacular book in the scriptures. We know that it talks about the resurrection, the classes that are raised, and it also talks about the abolition of death, which is really even more spectacular, because when death is abolished, all will be made alive. Alright, there's a notable contrast between the methods with which the apostle deals with fundamental doctrine, doctrinal error, and moral evil. The wicked man is delivered to Satan, but those who deny the resurrection are not put away. In these days, the contrary course is pursued. Doctrinal differences, not nearly so vital as the denial of the resurrection, are made the ground for disfellowshipping godly saints, while moral evil is often condoned and overlooked. Differences in doctrine do not demand a severance of fellowship, or Paul would have so dealt with the Corinthians, who denied the one doctrine, which, because it involved all others, has the right to be called fundamental. The evangel which Paul preached was concerned with Christ, not, however, with his life, but with his death, entombment, and resurrection. And I notice here Enoch uses burial, but no, it is entombment. Christ was entombed. I'm just going to adjust this camera a bit more. I think I can. Well, no, that's fine. Just checking it out. So if I do make adjustments, that's okay. These are the fundamental facts of the evangel. Not his death only, for that would be no evangel at all, but his entombment and his resurrection. The evidence for the resurrection of Christ is as conclusive as it is possible for any evidence to be. There were over 500 witnesses, and some of these were especially appointed and given ample opportunity to convince themselves. But the crowning proof was the descent of the glorified Christ to call Saul upon the Damascus road. Saul was his enemy, and would have done much to prove that he was not roused. His testimony is of special weight. The resurrection is of the utmost consequence to Paul, for he did not know the Lord before his death, like the 12 apostles. Consequently, he never would have known him, nor would have seen him unless he had been raised. In a very special sense, Paul is the apostle of the ascended and glorified Christ. He never bases his teaching on the life of Jesus before his death and resurrection. Saul's persecution of the ecclesia was a necessary prelude to the transcendent grace which called and sustained him, so that he became at once the least and the greatest of the apostles. It was necessary that he should be the most undeserving in order that he might become the pattern for God's present dealings in grace. Okay, we're going to stop there and we'll continue tomorrow with verse 12 in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. So, I'm going to edit this video and we'll see how it turns out. Grace and peace. Have a beautiful Wednesday and we will see you tomorrow.